Hello, my friends, and welcome to Not Famous. Today we are looking at the case of Katelin Akens, who went missing back a few years ago in 2015. However, there has been a recent update in the case that we're going to talk about. But first, let's talk about what actually happened here. Katelin Akens was a 19-year-old female who went missing on December 5th of 2015. She was living in Arizona with her fiance Amber at the time, but a few days prior went to visit her family and friends back in Springfield, Virginia. She was also there to witness her sister Gabby's birth of a child and to meet her new nephew. She was also going to grab some school information so that she could apply towards cosmetology school, and she had some serious plans for the future. On December 5th, she was scheduled to fly back to Arizona. Her mother had to work pretty early in the morning, and so her mother and her traveled to visit her stepfather. Stepfather's name was James Brandon, and he was going to go ahead and drop her off a little bit later in the day at the airport. When her mother, Lisa, and her met up with the stepfather at his home, they seemed to be friendly, no major problems as far as we know of. She talked about the cosmetology school and her plan. She seemed very excited for her future. Nothing seemed off at that point. Now, shortly after that, Lisa, the mother, gets a text message from the stepfather, James, saying that he had dropped her off at the airport. She asks him how the traffic was. He says, fine, conversation seems normal. She says shortly after this that she was at the airport. She texts this to her mother. She says that her battery is getting low and that she probably won't be able to text for a bit. Now, during this time frame, the fiance Amber gets a message from Katelin's pretty much saying that she wasn't going to come home that day and that she probably wasn't going to be able to be in contact very well. Amber thought this was a little bit strange and contacted Lisa, the mother, asking about it, which kind of freaked out Lisa a little bit. Now, hours later, around 7:15 p.m. in the evening, Katelin's flight was supposed to be at 5 p.m. While she was supposed to be in the air, there's a text message from Katelin to her mother, essentially saying that she's not going to be going home and that she needs some time alone. She's going to stay with a friend. These are the very last messages that are sent from Katelin Akens' phone. No record that Katelin was ever at the airport or that she ever boarded any kind of flight. So let's step back earlier into the day and take a look at what happened as we've been able to look at the case from a few years on. We don't see any other financial activity or cellular phone activity from Katelin beyond this point in time. It all ends at that point. Now, her father actually comes forward and says that he didn't take her directly to the airport, but that she wanted to go to the Springfield Mall. And so he dropped her off there shortly before he had to go to work. Now, he never actually went to work that day at all, even though nothing bad was known about Katelin being missing or anything suspicious like that until hours later. He just didn't go to work that day. In fact, he would never go back to that job again. Apparently, he drops her off at the mall, and she's going to catch like a metro to the airport, but there's no camera footage or anything showing that she ever went to the mall. And cellular pings show that his phone and her phone never leave like a radius of around 15 miles of his home at all. There's no record that he ever went to the mall, that she ever went to the mall, and the pings can verify that. It was quite a ways off from where he lived. So 2 days later, on the 7th, after she's been missing, and the family is freaking out, trying to figure out what happened to her, on the side of a road, some distance, but not a great distance away from the stepfather's home, her luggage is found. And authorities believe that it was thrown out of a moving vehicle due to the damage that it had taken. A wheel was fallen off and it was scruffed up. Now, inside of that is pretty much all of her possessions, her wallet, her phone, her glasses, everything that she would need, especially if she was potentially going to run away and start a new life, except for a set of clothes and her diploma. Now, initially, James Brandon cooperated with police officers and gave them his timeline of what had happened. However, he was asked to take a polygraph test and initially agreed to it, and then later on that day refused to take it. He's always refused to take any kind of polygraph test. He also has encrypted his phone and all messages, any kind of information on that, and refuses to let authorities look at it or give them the password. So if all of this seems a little bit damning to the stepfather, it kind of is in some ways. Many people believe that he is directly tied to this, that maybe he had done something bad to her and then made up this whole story of dropping her off at the mall and all this. The pings on the cell towers with his phone and her phone both show that they never left like a 15-mile radius of his home at all. They never went to the mall. She never went to the airport, even though she texts at this certain point in the day, like 2 p.m., that she was at the airport. The actual pings from the tower verify that did not happen. So what did happen? The theories and rumors, some stating that the night before she had been drunk and potentially might have cheated on her fiance, that she told the fiance that she wasn't going to be coming back and that she didn't want to be in either of the states. Some of the story lines up to try to make it look like she had run away. Now, the family believes that they were very close to her, that she was very close to her sister. She just met her new nephew. She was excited about her future, and it just doesn't make sense that she ran away and tried to start a new life. And in this day and age, that's a pretty hard thing to pull off, especially if she didn't take any of her money, her wallet. She didn't even have her glasses, my friends. Brings us all the way to today, nearly 6 years later. In 2021, a group of people that have helped keep the case alive are working and have put up a billboard between the stepfather's home and his current place of employment. A giant billboard that he will have to drive by every single day, showing her face and information about the case. They hope to do this in pressure to keep him on his toes and hoping that he will come forward and give some more information. And of course, there's a lot of theory, there's a lot of speculation. We cannot say for sure that the stepfather has any direct involvement in what happened to her, that she didn't just run away. The facts are, body's never been found, no record of her has ever been discovered in all of these years, in an age where such things are very hard to pull off, and it seems overwhelmingly likely that someone did something very bad to her. For the friends and family, this is a case that gets no easier. One day after it happened, 1 week after it happened, a month, a year, 5 years, and so on. They just want closure. They just want to know what happened to Katelin Akens. My friends, stay tuned. I'll be updating this case as any new details come out, along with many other cases just like it. You don't want to miss a thing. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. It's always good to talk to you. I just want to say thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to my Patreons who help support the channel and keep it running, especially when the videos are not always the most pleasing for the YouTube geniuses out there and the algorithm. I will talk to you guys again. I hope you have an amazing day. And as always, adios, amigos. Famous. Not famous.